I welcome you to my channel. A very interesting author's story is waiting for you. Enjoy watching it.
In the heart of a small village tucked away amidst the breathtaking Italian Alps, Enza and Ciro's lives converged in a landscape painted with both beauty and hardship. The village, with its cobblestone streets and terracotta-roofed houses, was a place where time seemed to stand still, its charm heightened by the majestic peaks that surrounded it. Enza, a young woman of rare grace and determination, was the eldest daughter of a family that knew the harshness of poverty intimately. Her raven-black hair framed a face that radiated both strength and kindness, a reflection of the burdens she shouldered for her loved ones. Despite the challenges that marked her days, her spirit remained unbroken, finding solace in the warmth of her family's embrace and the sweeping views of the mountains she called home. Ciro, a young man with an aura of quiet strength, had known his share of heartache from an early age. Raised in the comforting embrace of a convent after losing his mother, he found solace in the towering peaks that overlooked his life. His dark eyes held the weight of experiences far beyond his years, yet his soul remained untarnished by the difficulties he had faced. Their paths converged on a day heavy with sorrow, as the village mourned the loss of a beloved member of the community. The air was tinged with a mix of grief and reverence as Enza and Ciro found themselves side by side, united by their shared empathy for the pain that enveloped the village. It was a glance exchanged in a moment of quiet understanding that forged a connection between them, a connection that words could not fully capture. In the days that followed, Enza and Ciro discovered a companionship that offered solace amidst the prevailing melancholy. Their conversations were marked by unspoken thoughts and stolen glances, their bond deepening with each passing day. Yet, the winds of change soon swept them apart as life's demands forced them to leave their beloved village behind. Their journey across the vast ocean to America painted a stark contrast to the familiar vistas of the Alps. Enza found herself amidst the bustling streets of New York City, her hands calloused from factory work. Ciro, now a skilled shoemaker, navigated the city's crowded avenues, each step carrying him farther from the mountains that had once been his sanctuary. The distance between them grew, yet their hearts remained connected by memories of shared moments and unspoken understanding. As years turned into decades, Enza and Ciro's lives took different paths, marked by successes and setbacks, joys and sorrows. Through it all, the thought of one another served as a beacon of hope, a reminder of the strength of their connection. Their correspondence bridged the physical gap, their letters becoming a lifeline that carried them through the challenges of life. In moments when fate allowed their paths to cross once more, the years melted away, and they found themselves transported back to the village of their youth. In each other's arms, they felt the echoes of a love that had weathered time and distance, a love that was both a refuge and a driving force. And so, Enza and Ciro's love story became a testament to the resilience of the human heart. Their initial encounter, marked by shared sorrow, had paved the way for a love that transcended the boundaries of geography and time. Against the backdrop of history, their love story unfolded, a tale of two souls united by fate's delicate threads, bound by a love that could withstand the trials of continents, wars, and lifetimes. Enza's presence in the village was as steady and unwavering as the mountains themselves. With her raven-black hair cascading down her back like a waterfall of midnight, she was a striking figure against the rustic backdrop of the Italian Alps. Her eyes, a rich shade of chestnut, held a depth of experience beyond her years, an experience earned through years of shouldering the responsibilities of the eldest daughter in a family that knew little else but struggle. Her mornings began early, long before the first rays of sunlight kissed the mountaintops. With deft hands, she tended to the meager household chores, cooking simple meals and mending clothes that had seen better days. Yet, her spirit remained unbroken. In the moments stolen from her daily toil, she would gaze out at the expanse of nature before her, finding solace in the sight of the mountains that stood as both sentinels and confidants. Enza's heart held a fierce resilience, nurtured by the love she bore for her family and the enduring beauty of her homeland. Ciro's existence, on the other hand, was colored by the quiet refuge of a convent nestled amidst the foothills. With dark, brooding eyes and tousled hair that seemed to mirror the untamed spirit within him, Ciro bore the scars of loss and loneliness. The echoes of his mother's lullabies and the fleeting memories of her embrace lingered in his heart, a bittersweet reminder of a love that was tragically cut short. The sisters of the convent were his family now, their gentle presence offering solace in a world that had dealt him a cruel hand. Yet, it was the mountains that held a special place in his heart. Their towering grandeur became his confidants, the silent companions to his solitude. He would often find himself perched on a rocky outcrop, his gaze fixed upon the peaks that seemed to touch the very heavens. It was in these moments that Chiro felt closest to his mother's memory, as if the mountains held her essence within their craggy embrace. Enza and Ciro's lives were woven together by a shared appreciation for the mountains that surrounded them, each finding their own way to cope with the challenges life had presented. Enza drew strength from the bonds of family and the simple pleasures of her village, while Chiro sought refuge in the solace of nature and the companionship of the sisters. Their paths were destined to intersect in ways they could never have imagined, setting the stage for a love story that would unfold across time and distance. The village square buzzed with a mixture of somber reverence and aching loss on that fateful day. The scent of candle wax and fresh flowers mingled in the air as the community gathered to bid farewell to a beloved member whose time had come. Mournful chants rose from the local church, echoing off the cobblestone streets and up into the mountains. Enza stood among the crowd, a silent observer of the collective grief that hung heavy in the air. Her chestnut eyes glistened with unshed tears, the weight of loss a familiar ache in her heart. Around her, villagers huddled together, offering their condolences and sharing whispered stories of the departed. It was in this shared sorrow that Enza's gaze found its way to another familiar figure, Chiro, standing near the fringes of the gathering. His dark eyes, usually shrouded in a veil of contemplation, mirrored the collective sadness that enveloped them. In a moment that felt suspended in time, Enza and Ciro's gazes met, a connection forged in the depths of empathy and shared understanding. No words were exchanged, but the silence between them was profound, an unspoken acknowledgement of the pain that words could not adequately convey. In that glance, they found a lifeline amidst the sea of sorrow, a bond that transcended the mundane and touched on something deeper and more profound. As the mourners dispersed and the sun dipped below the mountains, Enza and Chiro found themselves drawn to one another by an invisible thread of connection. Underneath the starlit sky, they spoke little, yet their shared presence spoke volumes. In the midst of loss, they had discovered solace in each other's company, a quiet companionship that offered a respite from the heaviness that surrounded them. But life is a tapestry woven with both joy and pain, and the winds of change are often unpredictable. The days that followed bore witness to shifts that neither Enza nor Chiro could have foreseen. Circumstances beyond their control forced them to leave behind the village that had been their anchor, the mountains that had been their refuge. The forces of change propelled them across an ocean to an unfamiliar land, where their respective paths would diverge and their connection would be tested by distance and time. In the wake of their departure, Enza and Chiro carried with them the memory of that shared gaze, the unspoken understanding that had brought them together. As they embarked on new chapters of their lives, they clung to the hope that fate's delicate threads might one day bring them back together, to a place where their connection could be rekindled and the bond they had formed could continue to evolve. The ship's journey across the vast expanse of ocean was a mixture of excitement and trepidation for Enza and Chiro. The towering Alps of their homeland faded into the distance, replaced by the endless blue horizon that stretched before them. The salt-laden wind carried both hope and uncertainty as they embarked on this new chapter of their lives. As the ship docked in New York City's bustling harbor, Enza's heart raced with a blend of awe and apprehension. The skyline, a symphony of towering buildings and bustling activity, was a stark contrast to the serene mountains she had known. The city's cacophony was a world away from the quiet village she had called home. In this unfamiliar urban jungle, Enza found herself in the throes of a new reality. Days turned into weeks, and Enza's hands became calloused from the long hours spent toiling in a factory that echoed with the hum of machinery. The rhythm of her days was now dictated by the clatter of assembly lines and the relentless pursuit of livelihood. Yet, her spirit remained unbroken, her determination fueled by the memories of her family and the village she had left behind. Ciro's path, too, was one of adaptation and resilience. In the maze of New York streets, he navigated a sea of faces, each lost in their own pursuits. With a small kit of tools and a dream, he embarked on a career as a shoemaker, a trade he had honed amidst the quiet surroundings of his childhood. The bustling city offered a multitude of opportunities, but it also carried the weight of isolation as he carved a solitary path toward his ambitions. Despite the physical miles that now separated Enza and Ciro, their hearts remained connected by a thread woven with shared memories and unspoken camaraderie. The mountains of their homeland became a silent backdrop to their thoughts, a reminder of the simpler times when their lives were intertwined. In their separate endeavors, they found strength in the knowledge that they were not alone. The echoes of their village and the bonds they had forged still resonated in their hearts. Letters became their lifeline, carrying sentiments across the ocean that their lips couldn't convey in person. Enza's words described the hustle of the city and the challenges she faced, while Ciro's replies painted vivid portraits of his journey as a shoemaker. Through their correspondence, they shared dreams and aspirations, finding comfort in the knowledge that their spirits remained intertwined, even as their physical paths diverged. Enza and Ciro's lives in America were marked by a shared determination to make the most of their newfound opportunities. As they navigated the complexities of this foreign land, the memory of their village and the bonds they had formed acted as both a guiding light and a touchstone of familiarity. Their love story, though separated by miles, was far from forgotten, a testament to the enduring power of connection and the hope that one day, fate might once again bring them face to face. As the years rolled on, Enza and Ciro's lives in America unfolded like the pages of a novel, each chapter marked by both triumphs and trials. The world around them was changing, wars raged, economies shifted, and the tides of history pushed and pulled like the ocean waves they had crossed. Yet, amid the chaos, their love story remained a constant, a steadfast presence that defied the passage of time. Fate, with its intricate tapestry, wove them back together in ways neither could have foreseen. The bustling streets of New York often brought them into the same vicinity, like a tantalizing dance of proximity. Each sighting was a bittersweet reminder of the connection they shared and the years that had passed since they first met amidst the Italian Alps. Yet, fate was often as cruel as it was kind, as these brief encounters were fleeting, slipping through their fingers like sand. In the shadow of war, their love was tested like never before. Letters became their lifeline, with pages filled with words that bridged the physical gap between them. Enza's letters were a window into her world. The challenges she faced, the triumphs she celebrated, and the dreams she held onto. Ciro's responses were a testament to his unwavering support, his words a source of comfort that transcended the miles that separated them. Through the letters, they shared the moments that made up their lives, the births of nieces and nephews, the struggles of their respective work, and the longing for a world that seemed impossibly distant. Each letter was a testament to the enduring strength of their connection, a lifeline that kept their love alive despite the hardships that surrounded them. In rare moments when fate allowed their paths to cross, time seemed to stand still. These reunions were as magical as they were brief, a respite from the world's turmoil. In each other's arms, they found solace, a tangible reminder of the bond that had weathered years of separation. Their embrace was a testament to the depth of their connection, a connection that neither time nor distance could sever. Yet, as the world continued to turn, their reunions were as fleeting as shooting stars, disappearing just as quickly as they had appeared. The ebb and flow of their lives continued, taking them down different paths and testing the limits of their endurance. Their love story was a fragile flame that flickered in the midst of a tempest, a constant reminder that love's endurance was a triumph of the human spirit. Through it all, the wars, the separations, and the fleeting reunions, the memory of Enza and Ciro's initial encounter remained a touchstone of hope. Their love was a testament to the strength of the human heart, a beacon that guided them through the darkest nights and carried them toward a future that held the promise of togetherness. As the hands of time continued their relentless march, Enza and Ciro's lives in America unfolded like a complex mosaic of experiences, each piece a mix of triumphs and setbacks, joys and sorrows. Their individual journeys carved paths through a world in constant motion, each step taken with the memory of their intertwined past firmly rooted in their hearts. Enza, with her determination as fierce as ever, navigated the challenges of the bustling city with an unyielding spirit. The factory floors had long given way to a modest dress shop where her keen eye for design and her deft hands brought life to fabrics. The city's relentless pace had not dimmed her innate sense of elegance. Instead, it had refined it, turning her into a skilled artisan whose creations graced the forms of elegant women from all walks of life. Amid the whirlwind of fashion and commerce, Enza carried with her the memory of Ciro, the young man who had shared a gaze filled with understanding amidst the backdrop of mountains. His presence was a steady undercurrent in her thoughts, offering her the strength to face each challenge with unwavering determination. The memory of their bond acted as a guiding light, illuminating the path before her and helping her rise above the turbulence that life threw her way. Meanwhile, Ciro's journey had led him to master the art of shoemaking, his hands crafting works of art that adorned the feet of discerning customers. With the persistence that had defined him from childhood, he had carved a niche for himself in the city's competitive market. The rhythmic tapping of leather against wood became a rhythm that mirrored his life, one of resilience, adaptation, and quiet mastery. Amidst the symphony of stitches and the scent of polished leather, Ciro found himself drawing strength from the memory of Enza, the girl whose understanding gaze had resonated with his own longing for connection. Her presence was his North Star, guiding him through the maze of life's choices and uncertainties. In moments of doubt, he could almost feel her beside him, urging him forward and reminding him of the unbreakable bond they shared. Trials were an inevitable part of their journey, and heartache, too, made its presence known. They weathered the storms of personal loss, tasted the bitterness of dreams deferred, and grappled with the complexities of a world at war. Yet, through it all, the thought of each other served as an unwavering beacon, a light that never dimmed, a connection that never wavered. Their love was a constant, a melody that played softly in the background of their lives, a refuge they could always return to amidst the chaos. It was a testament to the strength of their bond that had been forged in the shadow of the mountains and nurtured through the years of separation. Enza and Ciro's love story was a beacon in the storm, a guiding force that carried them through life's challenges, reminding them that no matter how unpredictable the journey, their connection was a steadfast presence that would never fade. As the years flowed on, Enza and Ciro's lives unfolded with a sense of inevitability, each step guided by a force that seemed to transcend the realm of mere chance. Their meetings, once seen as mere coincidences, took on a deeper significance, one that suggested the hand of destiny was at play. In the midst of bustling New York City, they would occasionally cross paths, their encounters seemingly orchestrated by some unseen force. Each time their eyes met, it was as if time itself paused, allowing them to glimpse a reality that transcended the mundane. In these moments, they recognized that their connection was not haphazard, but rather a carefully woven thread in the tapestry of their lives. Enza, with her intuition as finely tuned as ever, began to sense the pattern that emerged from their serendipitous meetings. The city's chaotic streets seemed to quieten, and she found herself attuned to the subtle shifts that indicated Ciro's presence nearby. It was a connection that went beyond words, a recognition that their paths were destined to intersect, even if only briefly. Ciro, too, felt the invisible thread that bound them. The moments when he would glimpse Enza in a crowded street or catch her name in passing conversation became a lifeline to his past, a reminder of the girl whose understanding gaze had touched his soul. The realization that their meetings were not mere accidents fueled his belief in the power of their connection, a belief that was as unwavering as his determination to succeed as a shoemaker. As the years accumulated like grains of sand in an hourglass, Enza and Ciro's shared experiences began to take on a new significance. They marveled at the unlikely path that had brought them from the Italian Alps to the bustling streets of New York, realizing that every twist and turn had led them to each other. Their love story, once a fleeting encounter, had become an intricate dance of fate, a dance that spanned continents, wars, and lifetimes. In their moments of separation, the memory of their connection provided solace. The letters they exchanged held the echo of their shared history, a history that had shaped their identities and the paths they had chosen. The thought of each other became a source of strength, a reminder that no matter the distance, their love was a force that transcended physical boundaries. With each passing year, their understanding deepened. They embraced the truth that their love was not confined by the limitations of time and space, but rather a force that could bridge any gap. The majestic Italian Alps of their youth became a backdrop to their shared dreams, a reminder of the bond that had been forged against its grandeur. The ache of homesickness for their native land was soothed by the knowledge that their connection was stronger than distance itself. Enza and Ciro had grown to realize that their love story was a masterpiece painted by destiny's hand, a narrative that defied the ordinary, a union that spanned the breadth of human experience. Their love became a testament to the enduring power of connection, the resilience of the heart, and the capacity of love to overcome the constraints of time and place. As the hands of time continued their steady march, Enza and Ciro's love story evolved into an epic narrative that echoed across the annals of history. Their journey, one that had begun amidst the grandeur of the Italian Alps, now encompassed the sprawling tapestry of the 20th century, an era marked by upheaval, triumph, and the indomitable human spirit. Their love story was no longer just their own, it had become intertwined with the collective narrative of the world around them. Against all odds, they clung to the belief that their connection was more than a chance encounter. It was a force that defied the constraints of time and circumstance. Their shared moments and serendipitous meetings had evolved into a profound understanding that their love was their guiding North Star, a constant source of light in the midst of life's tumultuous storms. Through the ebbs and flows of life, their love proved resilient. The joyful days were a testament to their unwavering bond, while the moments of sorrow and separation only served to strengthen their resolve. Their letters continued to bridge the miles that separated them, each word a testament to the depth of their connection. Enza's words offered solace to Ciro in the midst of war, while Ciro's responses provided Enza with a lifeline as she navigated the complexities of a changing world. Reunions, though fleeting, became cherished lifelines. In each other's arms, time seemed to hold its breath, allowing them to revel in the familiarity of each other's presence. These moments of reunion reaffirmed the truth they held dear, that their love was an unbreakable force, capable of bridging continents and transcending the barriers of time. The Shoemaker's Wife was no longer just a title, it was a testament to their enduring love. Their story unfolded against a backdrop of history, a tapestry woven with the threads of their shared experiences. Through wars that shook the world, through economic turmoil and personal hardships, Enza and Ciro held onto their love as a shield against adversity. Their journey became an inspiration, a tale of two souls whose connection defied all odds. It was a story that resonated with those who had ever loved, who had ever hoped, who had ever dreamt. Their love became a beacon of light for those navigating their own paths through the darkness of life's uncertainties. As the curtain fell on their remarkable tale, Enza and Ciro's legacy endured, a reminder that love, when nurtured with unwavering faith, could overcome even the most daunting challenges. Their story was etched into the fabric of history, a story that whispered of the power of love's triumph over adversity, of two souls bound by an unbreakable bond that spanned continents, generations, and the ever-changing tides of time.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Write a comment what you think about this story. See you soon.